really was waiting on some of these things. I thought about putting a separate video out, but I figured I'd just wait for the news to talk about them. But we've got a lot of great things to talk about today. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and get a lot of great videos coming your way. Also, we're going to get right into this as soon as you press that like button. So let's do it. And here we go. The first bit of business is Hasbro Siege line. They are actually stepping it up. Every release or every picture they put out looks like something amazing. And starting with this Astro Train. And I think that this is the best looking Astro Train that Hasbro has ever delivered. On top of that, I mean, it's not going to be what Fans Toys gives us for 150 bucks. It's going to be what we get for a leader class for 50. Now, the leaders are still a bit smaller than I'd like, but it still will be the biggest one they've delivered to us because Voyager's the only one they've given us. But I wonder if this is the same size as the Titan Returns one. And a couple other pictures. So it looks like the jet mode is a bit unfinished in the back end. The train mode looks very detailed though, so really interesting look. I just reviewed the Springer and I really was pleased with Springer. I assume I'll feel the same way about this. In fact, I might be more interested in this than the Springer now. So that's pretty exciting. The Siege line's got a lot of good things going for it. Next I got an Ape Face, which Ape Face I guess is a Triple Changer 2. And I think he looks good. It's a pretty good looking figure. I don't see anything wrong with it. I believe it's a deluxe size, so it'll kind of fit in. And it looks like we're going to be getting several more of the monster bots, and I like that. And then, you know, it's really cool that this doesn't have to combine with anything, so they can just make it what it needs to be. And there he is the monkey or ape. And the jet mode gets by, it does its thing. We're also getting a Crosshairs, which, you know, I'm really not familiar with the character so much, but it's just an Ironhide retool. I'm not highly impressed with the Ironhide mold, and I think that mold sort of, in the end, the whole Ironhide mold is more towards maybe an Orion Pax mold. That's just my whole feeling, especially looking with these colors. It looks like it fit an Orion Pax pretty well. And then here he is with the alt mode. I don't know what you'd call that, a van? Or a Cybertronian van? A diamond minecart? Moving through some more of this chug stuff, there's this Siege for Cybertron 3-pack, and I think you officially call it the Alpha Strike Counter Force multi-pack. And you're going to get a Sideswipe, Slam Dance, and Trench Foot in here. So let's have a look at these. There's the back of the package. And so you're going to get a G2 Sideswipe, which really they're just going to beat that mold to death and recolor it, which is what they did in G1. But I think it looks good. That's a decent mold. It's a good looking representation. And of course, looks real good in alt mode also. I think this guy's the Trench Foot, and it's another Target Master. So it's, I guess, a way to get a couple of these things for a good price, I guess you could say. But the most interesting part of this set is going to be this guy right here. Grand Slam and Rain Dance, which is Slam Dance. So this is really based off the cassettes for Blaster back in the day. And they don't turn into cassettes, they turn into alternate things, jet and a tank. But I think it's actually really cool that we're getting it, and it's really kind of just a remold, a redeco of what they've already done in the past. But I really like these the way they combine. I did kind of like the very first one that they did, where they both turned into robots, then they both turned combined. But now the end combined mode is so much better. So I think that'll work out. And another bit of Siege news, they're going to make this Autobot Greenlight. I'm not going to talk much about it, but it's just a remold of the Fembots that they've been doing lately. Just a recolor, actually. Same mold. And it looks fine, but I think if you're going to go after these Fembots, you might as well, you know, get them all. Why not? It'd be pretty interesting. Next, so tomorrow is Monday the 1st, and you're going to be seeing this Siege Jetfire is going to be available to order, and I'm actually getting really excited about it. I can't wait to get my hands on it, compare it to all the other Jetfires I've got, Skyfires, whatever you want to call it. But he looks good. There's some cool things about him, and then there's some things about him that I think are a little different. We'll save that for a review. But end of story, I'm kind of excited for this guy. And if you order off Amazon, Pulse, or wherever, you should be able to order them Monday. Or if you do a pre-order, they should be shipping around Monday, theoretically. There's also pictures of this Autobot Spinster, which is interesting. Similar concept, done a little bit different. Still think it looks cool. Quite a bit of, I guess, accessories that go with it and stuff. And there it is in alt mode. So, not really sure. Maybe this thing is just one piece transformer that turns into that. Maybe it doesn't do two pieces. I thought it was two pieces, but maybe I was wrong on that one. So I haven't really talked too much about this Ghostbusters SDCC exclusive, but I did find some information that it's going to be available on Hasbro Pulse, but they haven't said when or where, or you know, they said where, but they haven't said when. And the thing about it is, it's kind of cool looking, and I think we're eventually going to see the end of these different MP10 repaints. And I think this is pretty cool. 150 bucks, it's actually not that bad of a deal. If you're into that sort of thing. This is the alt mode, and you know, it looks cool there too. I guess it does come with that Slimer. I was wondering if that Slimer actually was part of it. And it is cool that Roller looks like a trap. And there's the special packaging. So I don't know how many people are going to buy it and just keep it in the package, but that's probably what's going to happen with this bad boy. A couple of good deals here. If you're looking to get yourself a Predaking, this is the Weijing KO of the Titan class Hasbro Predaking, which I never saw go on sale, which is interesting because I usually see the sale, which make me start to wonder about this Omega Supreme. Now, is that one going to go on sale? Because we saw Trypticon go down to like 50 or 60 bucks. We never saw this guy go down to 50 or 60 bucks. This guy just came out at 160. You bought it or you didn't, and that's that. So you can get this KO from Show Z for $78.99. So that's a strange price, but like 79 bucks you're getting this thing. It's, what I hear, it's the same size as the official Hasbro, but they've done some improvements to it. So like where it would have kind of the waffling of the inside of a part, they've put some sort of a flap to cover it. They've engineered flaps and stuff, so they've made improvements to it. But I don't think the upgrade kits work with it as well as they do with the official. So that is something of a concern that you may have if you buy this thing. So next up, I had this Optimus Prime from TF Direct, and it's called the Yujing Transform World MMP10. Now, the fact that it was named MMP10, I originally thought it was a 12-inch version, like the MPP10. And then I got to looking and it didn't have a size on it. So then I decided I would email TF Direct. They haven't gotten back to me if it's going to be the 9-inch or the 12-inch. So I don't know. But for $99.99, a cel-shaded version of Optimus Prime would be cool. Now I'm assuming it's the 12-inch. But if it's the regular 9-inch, that would still be cool. Either way, I like the cel-shaded. I think they're really popular. But then when you get with this Optimus Prime here, in this pose, it starts to show you that kind of the lack of what this thing can do. It can't do the new poses these modern ones can. I don't know. I can make it look a little better than they did, though. I have to admit, because you can turn to torso, and there's a few things you can do to make it better, but it still shows you that there's some limitations to this older mold. Still a good mold. I think it's still a great Prime, and to have a cel-shaded version would be pretty cool. Next bit of business. This is a custom I found floating around, and whoever did this custom, this is awesome. I really wish there would be a production of something like this. And I gotta say, so I'm a Super G1 type collector, but if you came out with cool stuff like this, like a DeLorean that transformed even though it wasn't in any lore, it's still really cool. Now this they use the Prowl, the MP is it 17 Prowl as a base. It appears to be that mold, one variation of that mold, and then just somehow added on all these parts. It looks like they modified it to make it look like a DeLorean, and maybe they used a model kit or something to swap out. But it looks really cool. Looks like it even has a light up chest. This is an awesome piece of work that someone has done, and it's very impressive. I mean, I can tell you, I would buy this thing if they were making these, like X Transbots made it, or Fans Toys, or even if Omnigonics made it. I would buy one of these things. But I think it looks really cool. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this kind of stuff. I know Autobot X is going to be fun coming out. That's something that actually exists, but this doesn't exist. This is just made up fun. So a company called Regal Robot, I guess, is selling these desks. I didn't even see how much they were. It's special order, so I assume they're really ridiculously expensive, like the $2,500 desk chair that looked like an Emperor throne, which I would love to have that, but would not love to spend $2,400 on it. But this looks like his meditation chamber, and it is pretty cool. Like the little helmet there is a light. It's just a standard light, but it looks like you're getting your Darth Vader helmet on. And it's just a standard little chair. It doesn't have a back to it or anything. But I don't know, stuff like this is kind of interesting, kind of cool, but ridiculous expensive. And Star Wars news is a bit light, other than like stuff that we've already talked about that's come out is starting to release and show up in places. I know I got me some Yak Faces that did not, the cards got dinged up from Amazon. But Friday, we had limited run, open to orders for a couple of things, but most notably are these games for an NES and a Game Boy. So they've got a blue copy, as in, I guess that refers back to a Star Wars reference. But the blue NES and a blue Game Boy Advance game, and these are the same exact game that, like, you can still pick these up for pretty cheap, vintage ones. But then they're going to be on their own card back with some card art, and it's an interesting look. It's just something interesting and different, and that's what Limited Run Games does. They make games that are from the vintage line. They usually make digital games and make them into physical media, but with this they're just reissuing an old game, which I guess is okay. But don't be surprised, they're all sold out, which actually I'm kind of surprised. I personally don't need this, but I thought it was cool, and I'm surprised they're already sold out. And at the same time, they're also doing this Star Wars Bounty Hunter game for the PS4, which is a big deal because you can have a physical media to play a game on your PS4 versus having to pay to download it. And then, I don't know. I don't like to download games. I like to have hard copies. So this would be for me. I would pick this over downloading any day of the week. Any day of the week. And I know people want to relive that. And they say the Bounty Hunter game was one of the better ones in the Star Wars world. Anyway, let me know what you think on this week's news and review. And like, subscribe, leave comments down there. Tardarium Hanger, out.